Well, it looks like we have a new globalist puppet. Excuse me. Prime Minister of Canada.
Trump, as we know, has put, as the Prime Minister just said, unjustified tariffs on what we build, on what we sell, on how we make a living. He's attacking Canadian families, workers, and businesses, and we cannot let him succeed.
Yeah, good luck with that, buddy, as Donald Trump just announced a 250% tariff on Canada starting immediately. As the new prime minister definitely is going to have an uphill battle, especially with the larger duelings that's happening right now with China, as of course this new guy is very similar to the old guy. Some would say even worse, as of course he's a former governor of the Bank of Canada, former governor of the Bank of England, friend of Ghislaine Maxwell and Prince Andrew, Bilderberg Steering Committee, World Economic Forum member, the top of the top globalist elitist that also believes in population control. Oh, what a surprise there. This says now he has very tough words for Donald Trump that are being met with very tough actions by Donald Trump, as he says that nothing will go forward unless Donald Trump starts to respect Canada. That eight part, I don't know, I just made up. Maybe he said it, maybe he didn't. But Donald Trump isn't playing around, as he just imposed these new tariffs just 24 hours after he announced that he was pausing the 25% tariff on most Canadian goods. The new 250% tariff on Canadian dairy products could start as early as today or by Tuesday next week, as Trump will be addressing this at the Oval Office this upcoming Friday. Ontario, again, slaps a 25% tax increase on electricity exports to the United States in response to this trade war that they're probably not going to be doing that well with, especially with their prime minister that has very tough words. But in all actuality here, they don't have the economic fortitude to match America, as, according to Donald Trump, the Canadians are robbing blind the American people. And that no longer will be happening here, as now we have a new Liberal Party representation that is going to be succeeding Justin Trudeau. And it looks like Canada doesn't only have the United States to deal with, it also has new retaliatory tariffs on them by the Chinese that also have been going at it with this larger kind of trade war between these two larger nations. As we have some politicians in Canada saying, hey, we should stop fighting each other, we should all focus on China. But that probably won't be happening here under this new leadership, as, of course, Carney, the new prime minister, is saying that Canadian tariffs will stay until the United States shows respect, as I think Donald Trump is going to be announcing that he's going to be the new governor at any moment, at any time now, of the 51st state of the United States. You're teasing. You're queuing up, I think, one of the most epic retaliatory comebacks that Donald Trump will be issuing against you very soon, just because of those words. And even The Guardian highlights how this guy is a kind of never-Trumper sycophant, with their kind of analysis article saying there's only one thing in Mark Carney's in tray: Trump. Canadians' incoming prime minister warns the U.S. president tariffs threatens the greatest crisis of our generation. Yeah, I got tough words. NPR has 5 things you should know about Mark Carney, Canada's next prime minister. I mispronounce it here on purpose. But they describe, they have their list. I have my list. I think my list is a little bit more indicative of the leader that he's going to be here, that I kind of went off during the beginning of this video here, but they go on. He led the Bank of Canada and England. Okay, so he's a central bankster communist. Okay, he graduated Harvard and Oxford. Oh, he's probably part of all the secret societies. That's how he's a part of all the in-groups here. Okay, he's a father. Okay, he has triple citizenship, Irish citizenship, British citizenship, and Canadian citizenship. And, quote, he's been critical of Trump. Yeah, you don't say so. That's his exact kind of point of view here. But again, to me, the new liberal leadership is really another code word for globalist leadership. And him being a bankster isn't going to be too favorable for the people of Canada. Him being friends of Maxwell and Prince Andrew shows that he's probably compromised, and there's probably other people pulling his strings. The fact that he was previously a Bilderberg steering committee, one of the most secretive, elusive secret societies on Earth, shows how he was probably groomed for this larger position and has large compromise on him. He was a World Economic Forum member. What a surprise there, as of course all the globalists are hanging out together, all friends together, all coalesce together, all work together towards subjugating and destroying free humanity. And then, of course, let's not forget, he called for net zero, which is essentially a globalist code word name for population control, as there are already larger population control initiatives being, in my opinion, implemented against the general public. And if you're not aware of it, you're probably a victim of it. And that's one reason out of many reasons why I started wearechange.shop. Check out our store. We got a lot of great, amazing deals for you guys. And these are some of the products that I personally take, that I personally love, I personally use. One of the best ones that I'm taking almost every single day, Common Sense Creatine. Creatine is some of the most important supplements that people could be taking, especially if they're active, especially if they're older women. Start looking at some of the studies regarding creatine. There's a reason there's such a buzz about this. I was actually in before anyone else was on creatine in my little niche echo chamber kind of space on the internet, and looking into some of the studies, looking into the larger kind of attack on creatine, the larger disinformation on creatine, it made me very skeptical of it originally. And then I started to deep dive. And when I started to deep dive, I'm like, holy cow, this isn't just good for your muscles, it's good for your brain. So really good stuff. Can't recommend it enough. Talk to any kind of doctor, medical professional. Do your own research before putting anything into your body. But we got some of the best stuff on the market. You get a 2-month supply just for $53. You could save 10% if you subscribe. You could save an additional, I think, 10 or 15% if you subscribe to our email list. Again, all those deals on wearechange.shop. The link is down in the description below. And if you haven't begun your own independent health journey yet, you're probably a victim of the larger eugenicists out there that are calling for, of course, net zero carbon reduction. It's pretty clear. You are the carbon that they want to reduce your Canada, filled with so many amazing, huge forests that literally suck up vast majorities, if not all, of the CO2 produced by the populations there. But that's still not enough for the people of Canada and this new prime minister that will be probably implementing sort of new austerity measures in order to, of course, tax the general population, take their money away, so we make the weather gooder. Here's his justification talking about this at COP26.
Skepticism about ESG labels or sustainable labels, and that again is one of the reasons we're having this ruthless, relentless focus on net zero, because in the end, look, we can't stabilize the climate unless...
Relentless, ruthless push. Keywords there. As of course, you look at all the policies, you look at all the regulations, you look at all the new rules, you look at all the new taxes, and they strip away people's livelihoods. They strip away people's liberty. They strip away businesses' ability to actually succeed. As the big players, the monopolies, the giants, the huge corporations, they love all of this stuff because it destroys their competitors. It destroys anyone's ability to ever question their economic hegemony on the market. The small business is the one that ultimately is affected by a lot of this googly got nonsense, this larger kind of sacrificial exercise of destruction that's all being centered around, we got to make the weather gooder.
We get to net zero, and it's a simple, these are hard numbers. Your emissions are either A or B, they're going up or down, and if they're going down, are they going down consistent with the science? We anchor it in the science, the same science the UN and others use for the 1.5 degree objectives.
Yeah, trust the science never let us down, with the United Nations as another proponent of population control, and going after, of course, the general citizenry to make the weather gooder was Ghislaine, Maxwell, and Jeffrey Epstein. They were big proponents of it, as, of course, there are now photos circulating around showing this governor, Bank of Canada, of England, this globalist, World Economic Forum, Bilderberg steering committee member, hanging out with Ghislaine Maxwell. That right here, that head with the black hair, that's Ghislaine Maxwell, seen sitting down here enjoying her time with the new prime minister. Here's another photo of them hanging out together. He looks a lot happier than she does. As of course, there's now people trying to downplay these images, but it's pretty clear here. No matter how much you downplay it, we still deserve a larger explanation. What were you doing? What was really going on here? All we're getting is that his kind of representative team is coming forward and saying they weren't friends. Okay, but what were they? As that's not the only kind of suspicious tie here, as we're also finding out from the Western Standard that the Prime Minister of Canada also attended a Prince Andrew Palace dinner after Prince Andrew was already involved in the larger scandals where he has allegedly hurt underage children and forced himself onto them. Why would you hang out with Prince Andrew when his reputation was already stained so viciously in the alternative independent media and then ultimately in the corporate media that had to admit the quiet part out loud, even though the UK police have said that they're not going to investigate this? Even though the UK police said, yeah, we got victims, we got evidence, but we're just not going to investigate this. This guy was born out of a royal hoo-hoo, and because he was born out of a royal hoo-hoo, he has special rights and privileges not to be investigated for the crimes he has committed against children because he lives by a different set of rules. I don't think they officially said it like that. I don't think the statement officially, said it that way. But, you get the gist of what I'm trying to describe here. But this guy, okay, hey, this Prince Andrew guy's being involved in a larger scandal. Yeah, let's go to dinner with him. Sounds great. Sounds fun. Yeah, let's go hang out with the guy. Are you kidding me? As there's also rumors and allegations that Maxwell and Epstein were there. Were they? I don't know. I have no clue. But this is the stuff that we know about. Now imagine the stuff that we do not know about. So these are just photos. And what's to come of these particular photos? Are there any other maybe photos or videos of this prime minister in one of his mansions or one of his islands or one of his jets that were all rigged with surveillance cameras? Surveillance cameras with footage that has been put on hard drives and has gone missing from the FBI. Is there anything there? Just a question. As now, the federal prosecutor who investigated and was a part of the Ghislaine Maxwell case, by the way, was just put on leave by the DOJ, specifically at the SDNY office, which is known for a lot of corruption. Currently, Ghislaine Maxwell is being imprisoned for 20 years for conspiring with Epstein to hurt children, even though she hurt children to clients that, of course, are not named in the official proceedings here. She went down and got charged for providing a service to absolutely nobody. Sort of a very weird way to indict and imprison someone there, as she just recently lost her appeal in September of 2024 and looks like she will be spending the remaining of her life behind bars, as we still have so many questions regarding her involvement. Now we have larger questions about the involvement of the Prime Minister of Canada. What was he doing? What were the connections here? What were they up to? What's the relationship here? I demand some clear answers. And if you do as well, share this video with your friends and family members. It is more important than ever to get this out there to the general public that, hey, tensions between the United States and Canada definitely going to be increasing from here. It's pretty much an assured bet that right now this globalist puppet is going to be at odds and fighting the United States very seriously. So expect the unexpected, but now Canada has a new leader that's not going to be friendly towards Donald Trump, his administration that is reeling in and calling up a lot of these other globalist puppets. If you think this video is important, share it with your friends and family members. Again, everyone's talking about, oh, he's liberal, he's a never Trump. These are the bigger connections that we need to be making here. These are the bigger groups and organizations that we need to be calling out here. If you agree, share this video. Don't forget to get your creatine. wearechange.shop. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys doing that, subscribing, clicking the notification button. And this is why I love you guys Stay tuned for more here on youtube.com/wearechange.